Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Vijay Mataji, when you're ready, can start Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shriva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nastaprashu Abhareshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Nasteki. Today we are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 7, The Sacrifice Performed by Daksha, Text 42. The demigods said, Dear Lord, formerly, when there was a devastation, you conserved all the different energies of material manifestation. At that time, all the inhabitants of the higher planets, represented by such liberated souls as Sanaka, were meditating on you by philosophical speculation. You are therefore the original person, and you rest in the water of devastation on the bed of the Shesha snake. Now, today, you are visible to us, but who are all your servants? Please give us protection. Text 43. The Gandharvas said, Dear Lord, all the demigods, including Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Indra, along with Maharishi and the other great sages, are all only differentiated parts and parcels of your body. You are the Supreme Almighty Great. The whole creation is just like a plaything for you. We always accept you as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Text 44. The Vidyadharas said, Dear Lord, this human form of body is meant for attaining the highest perfectional objective, but impelled by your external energy, the living entity misidentifies himself with his body with the material energy, and therefore, influenced by Maya, he wants to become happy by material enjoyment. He is misled and always attracted by temporary, illusory happiness. But your transcendental activities are so powerful that if one engages in hearing and chanting such topics, he can be delivered from illusion. Text 45. The Brahmanas said, Dear Lord, you are sacrifice personified. You are the offering of clarified butter. You are the fire. You are the chanting of Vedic hymns by which a sacrifice is conducted. You are the fuel. You are the flame. You are the kusha grass. And you are the sacrificial parts. You are the priests who perform the yajna. You are the demigods headed by Indra. And you are the sacrificial animal. Everything that is sacrificed is you or your energy. Text 46. Dear Lord, O personified Vedic knowledge, in the past millennium, long ago, when you appeared as the great boar incarnation, you picked up the world from the water as an elephant picks up a lotus flower from a lake. When you vibrated transcendental sound in that gigantic form of a boar, the sound was accepted as a sacrificial hymn. And great sages like Sanaka meditated upon it and offered praise for your glorification. Text 47. Dear Lord, we were awaiting your audience because we have been unable to perform the yajnas according to the Vedic rituals. We pray unto you, therefore, to be pleased with us. Simply by chanting your holy name, one can surpass all obstacles. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you in your presence. Text 48. Sri Maitreya said, after Lord Vishnu was glorified by all present, Daksha, his consciousness purified, arranged to begin again the yajna, which had been devastated by the followers of Lord Shiva. Text 49. Maitreya continued, "My dear sinless Vidura, Lord Vishnu is actually the enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices. Yet, because of his being the super soul of all living entities, he was satisfied simply with his share of the sacrificial offerings. He therefore addressed Daksha in a pleasing attitude." Text 50. Lord Vishnu replied, "Brahma, Lord Shiva, and I are the supreme cause of the material manifestation. I am the supersoul, the self-sufficient witness. But impersonally, there is no difference between Brahma, Lord Shiva, and me." Text 51. The Lord continued, "My dear Daksha Dvija, I am the original personality of Godhead, but in order to create, maintain, and annihilate this cosmic manifestation, I act through my material energy, and according to the different grades of activity, my representations are differently named." Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vidyamati. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Sri Krishna Prabhu, when are you ready, can start, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Vidya Maharaj Mataji and Simran Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Sikshashtamekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradari Kripamudirtamaham Prapadye. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we are continuing this section where Lord Vishnu is appearing on the sacrifice performed by Daksha and demigods. So especially in this chapter, we are seeing that how Lord Shiva actually concluded. He gave a solution to all the sufferings that demigods have to go through. And now Daksha regained his consciousness. Now they are continuing to perform the sacrifice, which were actually ultimately meant to please Lord Vishnu. So now, after regaining consciousness, Daksha was very, very emotional, and he saw all the mistakes that he did in front of his eyes, and he was very affectionate to his daughter Sati, and all these unfortunate things that happened. So he contemplated. So now they're continuing with the sacrifice. So what happened when Daksha was offering the clarified butter, ghee, in the sacrifice, Ahuti, like here, Lord Vishnu appeared. So as soon as Lord Vishnu appeared, it was so effulgent, and all of the demigods, beginning from Lord Brahma, Shiva, all the devatas, Brahmanas, Bhrigu, everybody is offering their prayers. So we are continuing to see all the prayers offered by wonderful demigods, the Siddhas, So now in this verse number 42, the demigods are continuing to offer the prayers. So here, on the verse number 42, we are seeing that Deva Uvacha. So the demigods. So there are several demigods here. So they didn't mention especially. It could be a prayers together or a particular demigod. So they're offering their prayers to Supreme Personality of Godhead, and there are many points that comes in this in this glorification. We'll touch upon some points due to lack of time. So the Lord, several qualities of Supreme Personality of Godhead is mentioned by several of these prayers. So what are those specific points? So the Lord is mentioned here as he is the one who expands into Lord Brahma, Shiva, in order to maintain and annihilate for the whole creation purpose. And he is also the person who is receiving all this offerings that are given in the sacrificial fire and distributing to all the demigods. So he is also the one who is giving protection to all of the living entities, including the demigods. So in these prayers, the devatas are glorifying Vishnu, Vishnu's qualities and Vishnu's activities and his form, and all of the attributes are being glorified here. So how Vishnu is actually the original person and how he is resting in the water of devastation on the bed of Seshanag. So he is sleeping on the bed of Seshanag. These beautiful verses are describing his form, and so many points here. Prabhupada quotes. I will just touch upon few points. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasabha Bhrityan. So Bhrityan means, the word Bhrityan means servants. So Ekala Ishvara Krishna, like Krishna is the supreme person of the Godhead. Everyone else is in the mood of serving Krishna. That's the mood. Even though Krishna and Rama, no difference, but the mood is like that. So the mood is that loving service towards the Supreme Lord. So similarly, so here, so all the devatas are expansions of the Lord, but then there's a difference that we have to understand, that the devatas are empowered living entities, and then the Lord, there's a Vibhinna Amsa and Swa-Amsa. Like Swa-Amsa is like the expansion of the personal potency of the Lord. Vibhinna Amsa, like Bhinna means separated. This word Bhinna means separated. So Vibhinna Amsa means separated part and parcels of the Lord. So even though all the demigods, Brahma, Lord Shiva, everyone is expansion, but then there is a difference in terms of the energy, how the energies is separated. So and then after the demigods glorify, the Gandharvas also glorify. We know the Gandharvas are the ones who sing very sweetly and glorify the Lord in the demigods planetary system. So they're glorifying about the Lord's potency of omnipresent potency, like how Lord is expanded in many bodies, in many forms in this creation, and everything is just like a plaything in his hands. So they say like the whole creation is simply like a plaything for you, and they are offering respectful obeisances. So all of these prayers, the one thing that is common is Namaste, so the offering of the obeisances and glorifying the Lord of his potencies. All of these are common glorification. So here also we can understand that how the Gandharvas say Amsa Amsaha. So they say like, O Lord, so we are all your part and parcels, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, all the demigods. We are all your part and parcels, but you are the supreme personality of Godhead. So here, Prabhupada makes a point that how the Lord is actually the one who accepts all the sacrifices, and he is a person who wants to ensure this the whole creation is in harmony, and he is the one who is fully in control. So from that perspective, he takes charge. Like in this chapter, we can see Lord Shiva says that I am not envious of any of you. I neither, want, I know that you guys sometimes behave very silly and childish. I don't take it seriously. But the reason Lord Shiva says I am punishing you to bring order in the society, order in the Devatas planets. So there has to be order, there has to be a harmony. So without the harmony, there will be very chaotic situation. So when that harmony is breaking, then the Lord will punish. So similarly here, Lord Shiva, who is also representative of Lord Vishnu, he is punishing because that harmony is breaking. So that point we have to understand that Lord Krishna, even though is supreme, he doesn't show his power in every aspect of the creation. Wherever it is needed to bring that harmony back, then Krishna will come into picture. Otherwise, the Devatas and the Brahma and Lord Shiva, Vishnu, they'll handle the whole situation. So then the prayers continues here. Vidyadhara Uvacha. So Vidyadharas are also glorifying. So here they are saying how this human body is meant for achieving the highest perfectional objective. So here the word used was Atma Moham, and then just like in um, the Kalevara is the human body, Ashmin. So the Lord's illusory potency is very powerful, influenced by the Atma Moham, like illusory potency. People are engaged in the material enjoyment and always attracted to the temporary illusory happiness. But the Vidyadharas are glorifying that, Lord, because of your transcendental activities, you're so powerful that even if somebody engages by hearing and chanting such glorification, he can come out of that illusion, come out of that Atma Moham, that Maya. So with the Vidyadhara's glorification is very appropriate here. And the only way in Kali Yuga this can happen is by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this comes many verses also that demigods themselves, they say that Lord, your holy name is sufficient to satisfy you just by glorifying your name and qualities. All these sacrifices they are doing, what is the purpose of these sacrifices? The purpose of the sacrifice to satisfy Lord Vishnu. And in turn, Lord Vishnu is satisfied. He distributes that the whole creation, like even the demigods, all of the parts and parcels of the Lord, they are also satisfied. So in that way, there is a reciprocation. So the same thing can be achieved in Kali Yuga by just chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So which is so Prabhupada points out in this elaborate purport how the body is so important. Body is temporary, but then the human body is so important because in the human body we can understand how to overcome the repetition of birth and death and achieve the transcendental supreme, approach the transcendental supreme Lord. By attracting his mercy, we can cross over this repetition of birth and death. So that can be done only in the human form. Why not other animal forms? He says a particular reason. So in the other forms of the bodies, there is a particular Maya Shakti. It's called Avaranatmika Shakti. That Avaranatmika Shakti makes the animals believe that they are happy. Even the worm in the stool also thinks he's happy. I mean, that is the power of the Maya, it seems. So we can understand that illusory energy, to overcome that energy, we need to be in the human form, especially human form which is surrendered to the Supreme Lord, can cross over this potency of illusory energy. There are many verses in Bhagavad Gita also says that Mama Maya Duratyaya Maya Mitam Tarantite Mama Maya Duratyaya. So Krishna's energy is very difficult because Daivihi Yasha Gunamai, like it's behind that Maya is Krishna's energy is there. So that's why it's called Daivi. So, but we have to overcome that Daivi Shakti. We can do that by surrendering onto the Krishna's lotus feet. So, Mayamitam Tarantite. So we can cross over this Maya. So that illusory energy, Prabhupada says that we can easily do by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, which is the appropriate way in the Kali Yuga. So he repeats multiple times the whole Hare Krishna mantra. So which is, we can understand the importance of chanting. So once life will change, he will see a new light and his life will be successful. So, and he's also suggesting everyone, we do not ask anyone to first change his position and then come to us. Instead, we invite everyone to come with us and simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because we know that if one simply chants and hears the topics of Krishna, one's life will change. So, and then the Brahmanas are now offering the prayers to the Supreme Lord. So, Vidyadharas, Gandharvas, now the Brahmanas are offering. And the Brahmanas are quoting again the Supreme Lord's impersonal aspect, how he is distributed as everything. So, the Brahmana is saying that the clarified butter ghee, the fire, the Vedic mantras, the fuel, the flame, the kosha grass, the sacrificial pots, even the priests who are performing the sacrifice, the demigods, the sacrificial animal. Oh Lord, everything that is here is actually you and your energy only. So they're glorifying the Supreme Lord's impersonal aspect of expanding everything, all pervasive nature of Supreme Lord. So again here, Prabhupada again quotes the whole Hare Krishna Mahamantra, confirming that the Sankirtan Yajna of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So there is no need to arrange this elaborate paraphernalia, like all of these paraphernalia, whatever mentioned here, like ghee, the big sacrificial arena, kusha grass, sacrificial pots, priests who can chant these Vedic mantras. All of these are very difficult in Kali Yuga, So it's simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we can satisfy the Supreme Lord and achieve the same benefit. So that's again Prabhupada is emphasizing. And so the Brahmanas are continuing their glorification. So what they're saying, they are remembering some pastimes, Varaha pastimes, how Lord lifted the whole earth, in the as a Varaha incarnation, and then so he giving an example how he lifted the earth, just like an elephant picks up a lotus flower from a lake. So that was an example given here. And then he's saying how great sages like Sanaka and Sanaka and Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, they are all offered prayers for your glorification. So, so here another word used in this verse is Trayigatra. So, which means the transcendental form of the Lord is the Vedas. So, anyone who engages in the worship of deity or the form of the Lord in the temple is understood to be studying all the Vedas 24 hours a day. So we can see there is a connection to the Lord's form and the Vedas mantras. So deity worship and Lord's Vedas here is non-different. So Lord is absolute. So we all know Lord's holy name, pastimes, Shastra, his words, his form is all absolute, meaning everything has equal potency. So the deity worship will actually reveal all the Veda mantras in your heart. So that is what Prabhupada is saying. So even a neophyte devotee who engages in the worship of deity is understood to be in direct touch with the purport of Vedic knowledge. So again, so Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedya. Vedanta krit vedavit eva chaham. So I know the Vedas, Arjuna. I am the compiler of Vedas. So the purpose of Vedas is to know me. So Krishna says that. So because Krishna is the essence of all the Vedas, knowing Krishna is the essence of all the Vedas. So indirectly by worshipping Krishna's deity form, we can get all that essence. So that's what here in the glorification Prabhupada is mentioning. And then the verse number 47. Now the Brahmanas are saying that they are very eager to see the Lord. When they are performing, they were saying that they are unable to perform the rituals perfectly, and they are not unable to get the audience of the Lord, and therefore they are praying, just Lord, be satisfied with whatever offerings that we did, but simply by chanting your holy name we can surpass all the obstacles. So is a very important point again. These Brahmanas are very exalted Brahmanas. They are perfected all the Vedic mantras, but what they are saying is they are not perfect in doing the sacrifices, and therefore they are saying the Lord, just be satisfied. We just simply chant your name, be satisfied, and remove all the obstacles. So from this we can understand that the power of the bhakti, the holy name chanting, and the power of bhakti, that Lord is satisfied only by pure love. So even though we have to be perfect in doing all this, but still what attracts the Lord is the pure love. So that's why they say that just remove all the obstacles, we simply chant your holy name. So this is another verse where we can see the importance of Lord's holy name. Just by chanting, we can surpass all the obstacles. So and Prabhupada makes several points again here that Krishna, um, there is a saying that when Krishna protects someone, no one can do him harm. So when Krishna wants to kill, it's like no one can protect him. So here the same, what happened in the entire pastime, the Brahmanas indirectly they criticized the followers of Lord Shiva. But because the Brahmanas were protected by Lord Vishnu, the Shiva's followers could not do any harm to their prosecution of sacrificial process. So again, Krishna's protection for the Brahmanas is established in this pastime also. And then finally here, Maitreya Vacha. So Maitreya is concluding and saying that after Lord Vishnu was glorified by all the demigods, Daksha's consciousness fully purified. Now he again arranged. So now we can understand that just the first offering of Daksha, clarified butter, Lord Vishnu appeared. Now he's still, continuing with the yajna. So now Daksha again regained his consciousness. Again, he is again continuing with the yajna process. So and now Maitreya is concluding to Vidura, saying that of all the sacrifices, the actual bhakta, actual enjoyer is Lord Vishnu. So um, so now Lord Vishnu is addressing Daksha. So in a very pleasing attitude, it's mentioned that he is Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. He's addressing Daksha and he's saying that Aham Brahmacha Sarvascha cha Jagata Karanam Param. So he's saying Brahma, Shiva, and myself, we are the cause of this supreme manifestation. And impersonally, there is no difference between all three of us. And then in the next verse, he makes the point that Atma Mayam Samavishya. So in the next point, he makes that but I actually, through my material energy, I am the one who is basically um, one who thinks that everybody is independent of me, they do not have a proper knowledge. So, in other words, he's saying that Lord Vishnu is actually empowering Lord Brahma and Shiva, and he's even though they are expansions, but he's saying they are not independent. They are being controlled. They are being under the protection of Lord Vishnu. So that point is mentioned in the verse number 52. So this is very significant here. There are many points in Bhagavad Gita also. Krishna says directly, Name viduhu suraganaha. He says, Aham adirhi devanam. So Maharishinam cha sarvashyaha. So he says, I am the source of all the demigods, and then all the great sages, they are all actually, I am the source. Even the demigods and the great sages, they do not know my origin. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So like this, many verses directly he says, and then Bhagavatam here in this verse number 52, Krishna is saying that even though they are expansions, they are not independent. They are. I am. Krishna, Vishnu. Here, Vishnu is speaking. Of course, beyond Vishnu, there are many other lords forms like Narayana, Krishna, the source of all the forms. So, like this, how this is a beautiful aspect of varieties. Like the Lord is actually everything in one sense is Supreme Lord's expansion, but then there is varieties. So that we have to understand everything in proper perspective. So in this verse number 52, Prabhupada concludes that no one can act independently of the sanction of the Lord, and therefore, indirectly, no one is different from the Supreme Person, certainly not Brahma or Rudra, or incarnations of the material nature of modes of passion and ignorance. So, Hare Krishna, thank you very much. This concludes today's verse. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sri Krishna Prabhuji. Wonderful class, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.